Well, fancy seeing you all here again. What is up? What is up? Welcome back, Leg 2. If you guys just tuned in, you didn't catch the first stream, I apologize. I was kind of a last-minute schedule this morning. I wanted to do the Ini Builds 321 Neo first, and then I wanted to fly the Fenix 321 right back to back, 2 short flights. We can get the juice, we can see what the difference is. And man, I bought into the hype. The 321 Neo was okay, it was good, I was thinking it was good, and then I loaded into the Fenix A321 and I've been blown away yet again. The Fenix is the, say it with me chat, G-O-A-T. Fenix is the GOAT. I even have my same wing views, for crying out loud, from 2020. It all just works beautifully, at least at the time being. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite me, but I loaded in and it's all there. My custom EFB background is there. It's absolutely insane, and we're going to show you some detail. We're going to do a little walk around here because right now I'm standing on the stairs. This is a view that I've seen many a time. When we get out here, we got to use the air stairs to board or on the D-plane, whatever it may be, and it was just, this is just, look at the window reflection here. This is a real airplane. This is more real than real life. The modeling, the texturing, I cannot believe how good this airplane is. And we're going to take a look. AJ wants to see the data. How can I show you the data, AJ? Do I have to pause the sim? I really don't want to pause the sim right now, but hang on to that thought, dude. Thank you for the $3 super chat. I'd be curious to see how much data it was as well. I'm sure it was quite a lot, but let's go ahead and take a little stroll down the stairs. I changed my, I don't think I have backspace. I changed my keyboard, so I changed my guide to look more like Tom Cruise from American Made when he's wearing the pink shirt and he's on the bicycle covered in the powdered sugar. So I've got the proper Tom Cruise boots on there, you know, from Barry Seal. I might change the hair again. We'll have to see. But what they need to do for avatars, I need a mod for Tom Cruise so I could be Barry Seal in American Made. But I got the shirt on, the jeans on, and we're bro, looks like Miami Vice. So Logan Aviation, thanks for the $2 super chat. I appreciate you. Flying out of SNN, a 328 Toga flaps 3. Heck yeah, Logan, enjoy it, man. See if you can't get yourself a nice little window view recording there. Get all the juice. So let me just show y'all something here. So I'm going to walk around, and I can tell you right now, performance has been great. No issues so far. Cross your fingers. Look at the detail on here. Here is the RVSM box I'm talking about. Then we got the double box, and then the actual static port. You got all our tubes. We got the blowout disc. Everything looks wonderful there. Actually, the blowout disc is right here. And we got the green blowout disc. I'm wondering what that actually yellow dot is. I actually don't even know what that yellow dot is. But let's go ahead and walk ourselves around the beautiful 321. I haven't done a walk around in so long because I really haven't had no care to do a walk around. And then I loaded in this airplane and I was just blown away by the absolute juice. Real time, real weather, by the way. It's bright and sunny. Maybe I should turn the sim up or like turn it to evening so we can do sunset. Maybe we'll do that. We'll see here. But let's just do a little walk around. We've got the doors here. We've got the FO and Captain static ports. Let's go take a look at these. And I'm telling you guys the size. I don't know. My character might be a little shorter than I am. I feel like I'd be a little bit. You can't really walk under here without crouching down, for me anyway. But still pretty dang good. Let's come up under the gear here. Oh, it looks so good. I love the Fenix. It's just like being home again, you know? Like you go out, it's just coming right back home. Love the little streak in here. Good engine, wonderful engine modeling and texturing. And we'll just kind of do we'll do like a quick turn walk around here. We'll just make sure nothing's changed, nothing crazy happened. Blowout disc up there somewhere, I'm sure. Can't really see the cross, but that's probably more realistic than it being right in the middle. Got our beautiful sharklet out there. We'll walk along the trailing edge of the flaps. We'll come all the way over here. And we'll stay clear of the drain, the lav drain right here. You don't want to walk under that. That'll get some nasties on you there from the sink. Make sure our THS is reset to 0, which it has. Look at that. That is a sight. Got the American tail with the sun up there blazing right in your eyes. All right. 7-3 Simpod. I'm 6'2", confirmed. Close. I'm 6'1". 6'1". Look at all the dirt and grime coming off that door plate there. Oh, it looks so good. Come over here. We got the this is a escape slide right here. Looks good. A couple extra hydraulic panels. Looking at the back of the engine, make sure there's no blood and guts in there hitting any birds or anything like that. Walk all the way out to the wingtip. This looks so good, Chad. I cannot tell you how good this and how realistic this looks right here. Minus the Hotel Day Sky Harbor. This is just, we're home. We're home, and I love it. I love everything that Fenix does, man. Just fantastic. Now check this little detail out here. We're gonna walk. You guys ready to go back up to the airplane? Let's go ahead and let's hop back up in here. I think my texture settings are at high, not ultra. I think it's whatever. I think they're just below ultra, so they're not even juiced out all the way, man. It's wild. So we'll come up here. Oh, I can't do the thing. It's okay. Hit Shift C, and we're back in the cockpit, y'all. So we're good to go. Let's fire up this airplane. First time together. And look, I was so blown away by this. Look at this. My old wing views are still here. Are you kidding me? Like, Fenix, Amir, you guys are nuts. You guys are absolutely nuts. I love what y'all have done. You are raised every time they do something. The bar goes up and up and up. So let's go ahead and juice it up here. Let's see if we have sounds. Now, don't make me a liar, Fenix team. Let's make sure we have good sounds still. Ooh, we got the bus powered up. Oh yeah, you hear those thumps? Oh, the juice is back. The juice is back. Let's boot up the airplane. Should we do a sunset flight? What do you guys think? Sunset or real time? Sunset or real time? Let the airplane come to life. Jojo, thanks for the $2 super chat. Appreciate you, man. Flying Delta Boston to O'Hare tomorrow. Trading card? Nice. Get yourself a trading card, man. My nephew, they came into town yesterday, and he had a trading card as well. Showed me that. Thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate you. Tom H, my man, thanks for the $2 super chat. Hot take: Fenix is the Patrick Mahomes of MSFS. Oh, come on. Don't spoil it for me, Tom. Don't spoil it for me, Tom. I don't want to. It's Patty Mahomes. That's all right. It kind of is, man. No, you know what it is, Tom? As painful as it is for me to say this, the Fenix is the Tom Brady of MSFS, or the Nick Saban of MSFS. Total dynasty. Dynasty. Well, when they release the 737 Classic, then it'll be a dynasty. Right now, they're the goats. We gotta wait for their next airplane to be a 73 Classic, and then it'll be a dynasty. Dak is FS line. Jeez. Oh man, I'm seeing a lot of sunsets. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna run it forward, not too crazy sunset. I want to see what it looks. We know what looks dang good middle of the day here, so let's just pretend, the day is a little bit later in the evening. Let's do what's that? 3:30, 4 o'clock flight. 4 o'clock out of the desert. We'll do a 4 p.m. out of the desert here today. All right, just change the sun angle. Now, this is something that I didn't even think to check. I might need to check it. We have no bindings. That is a problem. So, I didn't even think to do any of that. Total failure mode there of the streamer. Let me see, make sure I have the right control profile set up here. So let's go to here. Oh, here we go. Wait a second. A320 specific. I don't know how to make a change. So it's A320 is set. So, okay, good. Oh my gosh, Fenix, are you kidding me? Reverse works just dunzo. Absolutely excellent. We might have to do some configuration, FMGC, real quick here. Maintenance. No, McDo, config. I don't know if I would need to redo the detents. Null zones. Let's go over here. This has always given me an issue. But I'm gonna clear this out. We're gonna see once we get booted up. I want to see what it looks like. Y'all, why are we yawing at 57? It might need a new calibration. But I'm gonna wait to calibrate anything until we get booted up so I can see the control inputs. All right. So let's go ground control on. We'll go captain per switch to captain switch. We'll go 1, 2, and 3 on our new ADIRS panel. That looks good. Strobe into auto. Nav 1 arm, or put you into auto. Arm the emergency exit lights. Fire tests. We'll double check those. I think it's going to be the same as if it's the same as 2020, it should be just fine. And I do remember ever since they launched that null zone, I wish they would just get rid of that ECAM. Like, it's not a real world ECAM. I get what they're trying to do, like let you know that your controls are not necessarily proper, but I would rather just not have an ECAM. So we'll do an init request there from that. Let's come over here to our Phoenix flight. Let's go ground cervices, mass and balance. That's us, 189, 6,000 plan. Let's go ahead and load aircraft. I don't have GSX installed, so let's just do a 7-minute, just a 7-minute load in real time, so she gets everything loaded up on her own. We got map avail, that's all coming to life. AOC flight plan uplink, wonderful. We're operating as a American 357. Cost index, we'll do 25. Cruise flight level. What did we file? I don't even know. Let me check here real quick. We filed 28 whole thousand feet. 280 is set. Ground temp is 19. We'll throw you in the box right there. We don't care about the tropo because I don't know where to find it on the flight plan. Looks like we have Prescott as an alternate. Interesting. Let's take a look at the latest and greatest weather. There we go. We go home. More apps. Navigraph charts. Let's load this up here. Phoenix is built with love. Seriously, Jeremy, you're absolutely correct, man. Absolutely built with love. Did this resize itself? I feel like it resized itself. Settings, medium. It did resize itself. Do I have to save it or something? So let's go back to our Navigraph charts. And let's actually move you over here. That's what I like to see. We're going to go to unload and import from SimBrief. We'll load you up. Phoenix already has the test.exe in the back. Yeah. Shh, I don't want to talk about that. All right, Phoenix to lost wages. Current weather right now in Sky Harbor, 110 at 5. So we'll practice the taxi out. We'll go off 8 again. We'll go off runway 8. We're on the Zephyr 2 departure to Rosta transition. We'll insert you. Vegas arrival. We'll plan the ILS-26 left. Hopefully we have a glide slope working because we don't have Fly Tampa. We're coming down the Rockstar 4. I remember it was a Rockstar 1. And off the Elda transition. Insert that. Beautifully loading up just like it would in real life. No discos. Dang, that's good. Flight plan is in the box. Secondary, we'll do a quick init here, just like we did on the last stream. So now you guys kind of, if you're first time around the channel, maybe your first couple of videos you see me live streaming. I know there's a new sim, so there's a lot of new hype. Maybe you're new. Secondary flight plan, it is a key piece of coding in our boxes that we use on every single leg. So while it may be kind of mundane sometimes to do this, that one time you take off and you pop an engine, you got an air return, you're going to be able to just go activate secondary and everything's loaded up, and it's a heck of a lot easier than doing it while you're flying around single engine with your hair on fire. So we'll come back here, approach, look, and having this Navigraph, it's so easy. I just go here, 1368. I don't even have to do my cheat mode on the Barrow. I just do or my cheat mode on the radio. I just can actually look it up now. Current altimeter, which I did not see, was 3015. Hasn't changed much. Pretty stable day here in Sky Harbor. 3015. Same temperature off the ECAM. We'll zero out the winds. There's nothing crazy. So our secondary is done. Our rad nav, nothing to hard tune. Is there? Let's take a look at the SID. We're on the Zephyr 2 RNAV departure. Nothing crazy that we need to hard tune out of here. Nothing really. So nothing to hard tune. Progress page, we'll put Sky Harbor in the box. Perf next. Now what I am going to do, since this is such a short flight, going into actually it should be the ILS Zulu going into Vegas. So if you go Vegas, charts, approach, 26 left. We want the Zulu, the Yankee. No, we want the Zulu localizer. So let's reload that approach. We're ILS-26 left. ILS-26 left. Zulu. Approach via. We'll take it off of Prino. Off the Rockstar 4. We'll insert that. That looks wonderful. Now we can do a little bit of a... Whoa. How about my view there? Plan mode. You can see, even though we are aligning, we can still have plan mode. We'll step through this here. Rockstar, Elda, Jean, Petty, right to Prino. Absolutely perfect. Absolutely how the real airplane works with the real box. So that is set up wonderfully. We even had a runway change. Goat status confirmed. We'll come back here. Actually, what I was doing, I was looking, since this is a short flight, we're going to kind of get ahead of ourselves. We'll throw in some quick and dirty barrel references here for Vegas. We'll put 2269 in the barrel mins. We'll take a look at the latest and greatest weather. It might change by the time we get there. Probably not. This METAR is 5 minutes old, so this is probably going to be accurate when we get there. Overcast 18,000? Really? There's clouds in Vegas? I didn't know that. We'll zero out the winds because the winds are calm. Scattered 75. Wow, there's some clouds up there. 3023 in Vegas. 3023. We'll throw you there. And the temperature is 12. Wow, cold front maybe approaching from there. That all sets up, so we're ready to go. Pretty much what I do now is I leave this on the init B page until fueling has been completed, and then we'll go from there. So we'll go ahead and put you constraint mode, magic barrel ref, 3015. That does work. That looks good. We'll go VOR, terrain on ND. We're not aligned, so it doesn't work. You can see I can't press the push button. Wonderful model there. Top altitude. Here's a question. Oh, it wouldn't work because I don't even have it installed in the right folder. So we're going to be stuck at using our mouse. That's okay. I was going to see if Mini FCU worked, but I don't think I even moved Mini FCU over to the 2024 folder, so I don't think it would work, right? So we're set up 280. We're boarding, allegedly. We'll go ahead and juice it up and get the APU up and running. All right. APU start. Let's take a listen. Do we have our APU sounds from the cloud? Did they make it down? Waiting for the flap to open. There she comes. Good morning, Leaper. What's up? Welcome to the stream. How was the IndyBuilds 21 Neo? It was good. But I'll tell you, as soon as I loaded in the Phoenix, I remember why Phoenix is the GOAT, man. It's not like I forgot. But now that I loaded in, just... the only way to explain it is you got to see it for yourself. Like, the 321 Neo, it looks good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I was having fun with it. I loaded into the Phoenix 321, and my mind was blown by how much better it is. And that's not even... it's just awesome. But even though that I'm saying that, the A21 or the 321 from IndyBuilds, the default 321, it did a great job. It did what we needed to do. We had a few little bugs with the FMS code. We had a few little bugs with what else did we find? Well, the left wing obviously is the only one that flexes, so the right wing doesn't flex. That's a small bug. The reverse on axis doesn't work. I believe there's a workaround. You got to change a config file. Again, I'm not a developer. That's your job, not mine. Get that fixed. The nose wheel steering works, which is good. It did not work on my first stream. I will say the ground handling, the flaring, the flying of the airplane in cruise flight felt a tad bit too snappy. And if you remember, I noticed on departure, every time I just like inched the side stick, we were getting some spoiler deflection, which it really shouldn't. I mean, it will happen, but it just seemed too snappy. It seemed too quick. I'm going to be very curious to see what happens in the Phoenix here when we take off. Is it a binding issue? Is it a sensitivity issue? Or is it perhaps a flight model tweaking issue? So I'll be very curious. I have not even taken this plane off. I haven't even started this airplane yet. Everything you're seeing is my first go through with this airplane right now. And so far, everything is working as intended, which I am very thankful for. We have a company massage. Let's come over here. We'll go ahead and pull that out. Nope, we'll go ATSU. AOC, receive messages. Wing comparison. I was just looking at it. What do you guys think? Look pretty good. All right, we're pretty much loaded up, ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and go back over to my Phoenix Tabelot. Aircraft is loaded. So ground ceviches, we'll send that to the McDo. Those are our final weights. Ooh, does it work? Let's see. Let me try that again. So we are loaded. Can I send to McDo? Maybe it's not sending. Okay, we are not able to send. Can I click it in? I cannot click it in. Okay, so we found something that's not quite modeled yet. That's all right. Let's load it up. So 149.9 and 25.9. 145.9 and 25.9. 145.9 and 25.9 is set. Block fuel on board. We have what? 14,000. I guess we're not in a Neo. 14.1. Block fuel is on board. All right. EFP is a bit slow. Known issue. Okay. Tablet's delayed. Sometimes a second or double click is needed. Oh, really? Maybe I will do a double click for the perf speeds. Let's try that. So let me try. Let's go over here to perf takeoff. We're going to blast off runway 8 so we can test some taxiing configuration. We'll do optimum, Toga, yes, packs on, sync final, sync live, calculate. 52, 57, 57, flap 2 up 0.5, that works. Send to McDo. It's sent over. Great. So maybe it was a known issue, maybe it was delayed, maybe I was too quick. It is working. I did send over perf speeds. Credit where credit's due. I will say I like the AnyBuilds version of uplink data. Or it'd be cool if we could get a scratch pad message here when you said send to McDo. It would pop up a scratch pad message that would say takeoff data uplink. And then what you do, you can clear that out and then you just hit uplink TO data. That's what our real airplanes do. Again, everybody's airplane is probably different. And there's 1.5 million Airbus pilots, real world pilots on YouTube. They'll all tell you different. But it is what it is. I'm just telling you how we do it, and everything looks pretty good. But yeah, uplink TO data, that'd be cool to have. We're all set up for runway 8. Let's get the APU bleed on. We'll turn you off. Fuel tank pumps are coming off. Seatbelts on. And we'll get the beacon on. Beacon is on. Now we're going to do a... I guess we'll turn the transponder on since we don't really need it right now. We'll go TARA 2000 is set. Let's connect Z-Tug. So we'll go back to ground ceviches and chocks and cones, forward stairs, GPU, connect tug, please. We'll go ahead and release the brake. And he's coming up now. The actual issues of ClickSpot on the EFB are all wonky. Oh, confirmed via the Discord. Okay, so Mr. Saturday says that it's not really an issue. It's the ClickSpots are a little bit off. So good to know. It's confirmed via the Discord. Thank you, Mr. Saturday. Appreciate you. I don't know how they did the LCD displays, but somehow they look better now. Yeah, they look good. They do look good. I'm not sure where this guy's taking us. We'll just let him push us here. Now, you'll notice we have not had a single issue of the airplane stuttering and losing our VRAM. How many times did I have to Alt-Enter on the last stream? Probably a dozen or more, because we had VRAM lockout issues because of the AnyBuilds 320 Neo, the default Neo. Again, that is proof to you that that is an airplane issue. That's not a sim issue. I'm not going to change my settings for one airplane or drastically change my settings. I understand if I got to turn down LOD or something a little bit to accommodate a higher airplane. Look, I even hit just start push, and he already pushed me back semi on the line, and now he's disconnecting. All I did is hit start push. My goodness, this is so dang good. Brakes are set. So they are set. We'll reset the chrono now. Another big test for the Fenix. Are we going to have the same juicy engine startup sounds as before? Have they made it through the cloud? Have the sounds made it through the cloud? Can I get some cloud emojis in chat, please? We're going to start up engine number 1. Engine mode to ignition start. I'm going to mute my mic. Sim is all the way up. Enjoy the startup sounds if they're there. Please, made it through the cloud. So good, Chad. It's so good. Yeah, I'm joking about the cloud. It's stored on the hard drive. I'm memeing. But come on, we got a new cloud emoji. We got a new cloud emoji. All right, I want my new cloud emoji. All right, there's we got an Avail light on number 1. Let's go ahead and crank number 2. Let's see if we get any PTU over here. Captain McGee, thanks for the support, man. Phoenix knows how to model COVID on the windows. That's right. Phoenix is pro-COVID modelers too, man. Golly, what 2 wonderful engine starts. We'll go to sim settings real quick here. We'll go to cabin. We'll go to lights off, P's. Thank you. All right, so we've got 2 good starts. Now for more juice, we're going to go engine mode, normal. I don't know if that'll bind. I'll have to check. Flaps, duh. Flap wing view comparison to the Anybuilds 321 Neo. What are we thinking? Oh, this is pretty good, man. What are we thinking? That's pretty good. I don't know. All right, ground spoilers are arms. Let's do a quick flight control check. That's full left. I can't push any harder or else I'll push my rudder pedals. Trim up 0.5 is what we're looking for. That is checked. Now let me see if the Z-Tiller works. Okay, tiller is working there. Very good. Does tiller work outside? Let's get rolling and find out. So, Diego Arnfolo, my man, thank you so much for a 10 pen. Appreciate you. Are you excited about what FS Labs has shown so far? Do you think it could surpass Phoenix, or at least be on the same level? Diego. Look, man, as a FS Labs user, thanks for the super chat, man. I appreciate you. As an FS Labs user from FSX to P3D, I do know that they are capable of modeling a very highly detailed A320 simulation. I know they're capable of doing it. I just don't know, other than technical log, and we'll talk about this a little bit once we take off. I have a thought on this. I just don't know what they can bring to the table that Phoenix hasn't already brought to the table, other than this tech log thing with aircraft airframe sharing potentially. So I'll talk about that when we take off. But thank you for the super chat. I do have some thoughts on that. It's going to be a tough market to compete against, though. We'll see. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't see it. So, but remind me, Diego, once we get airborne. I got some thoughts on that I would share with you. So, all right, brakes off. Let's go ahead and juice it up and get out of here. Tiller is working. Oh my gosh, that feels real life. Okay, this feels even better on the ground. Now let me try something. If I press pedal disconnect, oh, I'm full left on the rudder. Look at that. No movement. No movement. Pedal disconnect is working. Fantastic. You want to bind that to nose wheel steering set limit. Set limit, I believe is what it's called. And you bind that to your pedal disconnect button in the middle right there. Again, this tiller is a Cat 3 design tiller, exclamation point tiller, to give you more information. Oh, you know what? Nightbot never joined. What a slouch. I'm gonna get Nightbot to join here. Here we go. Nightbot should be joining any minute now. Exclamation point tiller, give you all information on that. It's so nice to have this taxi model here. This is awesome. This feels pretty good too. All right, let me make some. I'm going to stay in the cockpit view here for a minute. I kind of want to get a feel for this ground mode here. Now, allegedly, it's said that they made the same tweaks in 2020. I would honestly have to go fly 2020 to see if it feels the same or not. But right now, this feels good. This feels really good. I Fly Sim X. What's up, man? Thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships, dude. I appreciate you. If you pick up a membership from I Fly Sim X, make sure you say thank you. They're spend their money on y'all in the chat to be able to be part of V1 Nation. So I Fly Sim X, thank you so much, man. I appreciate your support. Exclamation point welcome. If you are a new member to the channel and you kind of wonder what you get with your new perks here, exclamation point welcome. V1 is on the placebo train. Turk, I'm just telling you what I mean. I haven't flown 2020 in a couple of weeks. And I'm telling you right now, the tiller feels good. Now I know they updated both sims, but I don't fly the dead sim. I fly the real sim here, 2024. So far, so good. A little bit of wing flexing out there. The true test is going to be here in the flight model. Now, what I wanted to do was look at my null zone calibration. You see, let's see where we're at here. So it looks like I'm centering a little bit high on my side stick. Let me see if I can adjust. So I'm using my Moza. Now I'm wondering if I can set a... Well, the Moza software is bang on. This might take a little tweaking to get her just right. Is your niche hardware working good so far? So far, Gus, I gotta be honest with you, man. The niche hardware has worked flawlessly in 2024 with no workarounds necessary. All of it combined. Moza, Throttletek, CLS to Sim Brunner yoke, Cat 3 tillers, and complete transparency, Gus, I was expecting it to be the complete opposite. I was going to say, man, we're going to have all kinds of issues until everybody gets their software updated. I'm very shocked at the compatibility. Everything it picked up automatically in the sim as well. So I'm very pleased the niche hardware is doing niche things. All right, now show me data usage. Where can I do that? I hate to pause the sim, but AJ did super chat us, and we got to figure out where it is. So I got to go settings data, right? I can't do it from here. So let's pause the sim. Let's introduce our GTA 5 transition. Here's our GTA 5 transition. We'll go to settings just because Gus wants to figure this stuff out. Let's go to online data, and we go to usage down here, I believe. Current data consumption 1.73 gigs is what we're at right now. But we're not streaming an airplane, so keep that in mind. All right? Keep that in mind. So we'll go back and we'll resume. If anything's broken, I'm going to be so pissed at you, Gus. All right, we're good. Yeah, I don't like that camera transition when you pause the game. It's just added stress on your GPU. Like, it has to be. People are like, oh no, it doesn't affect anything. You're telling me that there is zero effect, even if it's decimal effectiveness. You're telling me there is zero effect from if I were to just hit settings and it would just bring up the pause menu right now than it is to zoom out, zoom away from the airplane, transition back with sounds. You're telling me there is no difference? It's dumb. At the very least, it deloads and reloads all the stream stuff. True, that's the thing. When you're streaming airplanes, I feel like the less amount of times you can load and unload stuff in the sim, the better. You're not streaming an airplane, you're downloading it at the start of first flight. Well, then how come when I transition wing views, I have to re-download the textures sometimes? Like, the textures aren't all the way there sometimes. Like when I'm streaming the 321 Neo or streaming a beach or something, like I'll change views, I'll come back, and for a split second I can see that all the data's not there, all the textures aren't there, and then it crisps up. You know, so it may only take a second, but that's never happened before. So there's definitely something being streamed. You may download the core of the airplane, but I know for a fact when I change views a bunch of times on a streamable airplane, the textures aren't all there. If everything works, why are we having perf degradations? We haven't had any perf degradations so far in the Phoenix, which is fantastic. That 321 Neo is almost unflyable for me because the ground ops are so heavy. I run out of VRAM within seconds when I go to the... Like, I could just hit outside view, and I run out of VRAM in the 321 Neo. We haven't had a single VRAM issue yet, fingers crossed. I'm not sure. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just telling you what I'm experiencing as the end user here, right? My cousin was just hired on a JetBlue. Very cool, man. He's a blueberry now. I got a couple buddies over at Old Blueberry Farm. This can also happen with local planes. I saw it happening with EasyJet Sim Pilot and a Flightbox R3. It seems to be a log of VRAM in it. Well, Mad Cat, you've got to be careful with what you see on YouTube because YouTube will do that to you. Even on my streams, you'll see that. You'll see a fade-in or a blurry texture when I change views. That has to do with the streaming and the encoding. But I never see that as the main user. So if you're watching someone else's stream and you see that phase-in of the textures, that's probably not their computer. They probably don't even see that. You only see that because you're watching it come through an encoder and then go into YouTube. And if you don't have your settings exactly right, you'll have that blurriness when you pan views. Now, I've worked really hard to try to fine-tune mine. Let's give it a test here. Do my textures, let's pay attention to the EFIS and FCU when I go to the cockpit view. Do they kind of blur in? Let's see. So for me, it was dead on sharp as soon as the camera hit the cockpit view. If you saw any little fuzz, that's YouTube. And that's streaming. And you have to really tweak the streaming software to dial that in. It takes a lot of trial and error. But if I see it on my end, that means the textures are loading in my own PC. A bit rate. Yeah, it's bit rate probably. That's what it is. It's bit rate. And it will also depend on your internet too, watching the stream. Who gifted those 5 memberships? I appreciate y'all. Leaper Messiah, my man. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Very, very kind. If you pick up a membership from Leaper, make sure you say it. Say thank you. Yeah, it could be bitrate has a lot to do with it. You're absolutely right. Bitrate has a lot to do with it. What I love about this taxi out is I've just made very minute changes on it, just like you would in real life here. Very good taxiing. Feels like I'm actually rolling an airplane here. This is great. When outside view, look at cockpit windows. Is that normal? Outside view, look at cockpit windows. What's wrong with the cockpit windows? Reflecting the sun. I think they look pretty normal to me. See how when I load back in there, like my cars and everything got to load back in? That's also, I've seen that 2020 though. That's that like off-screen pre-caching or something. Cytomic, the physics feel better in 24, and I couldn't agree more with you, man. And I will be the first one to raise my hand and say I was wrong. I hoped, but I did not believe that we were going to get very much change in the simulation of the physics in 24. I thought it was going to be bulk career mode missions, gamifying the simulator. And while that is still true, there is a lot of gamified stuff in 2024. I mean, we had pooping simulator. We walked out into the jungle in Panama and crouched down in the jungle, which was fantastic. It was a lot of fun. But that is more towards the game side of things. But I was wrong when I didn't believe that the physics were changed. The physics have definitely changed in this sim. Alright, we're going to hold short here. We're good to go. Alright, so let's go ahead and do... Oh, look at that view. That is just so awesome. I got to read this text message real quick. Hold on, it's an important one. Boom. Alright, cool. That is set. Alright, who's ready to go to Vegas? Let's get those yogas in chat. All the lights are coming on. Let's get all of you on. Let's get you on. All ready to go there. I need to refresh my Chrome because Chrome decides to have issues. So let me do this real quick over here so I keep my chat box. I think it's the advent of the emoji spamming, which I love. Crashes my Chrome. It's so great. Alright. Yoga's in chat. Let's get out of here. We're doing a Toga. Let's do a rolling takeoff. Rolling takeoff. Auto brakes max. We never did the first officer slacking. TO config check. On. Auto. Auto. TARA. Let's go. Predictive wind shears off. What did I miss? Oh, yeah. There you go. Let's go. Rolling takeoff test. Yeah, see, I've got, my nose is, that could result in a little excess float. You see that? I should be neutral right there. I might have to change a neutral point on my niche hardware. So we'll keep that in mind for landing in Vegas. We might have a little extra float juice. The emojis were still streaming in. Alright, we're going to rolling takeoff this sucker. Spool them up 50. Yoga's in chat. We're going to Vegas. Don't go Toga until the nose wheel's straight. Ask me how I know. Man, Toga SRS, a runway, auto thrust, bleh. Thrust set. 100 knots. Check. V1. Rotate. A little bit of a tailwind there. Look at that squirrely. Positive rate. Gear up. Fly with. Oh, man. That's fine. I could feel that little bit of squirreliness there with that tailwind. Wait till we get thrust reduction. You're going to love this. All right, lever climb. You ready for this? Chad, it does not get any better. It does not get any better than that. That is the best. We got a positive trend. We're above F speed. Flaps 1. Speed checks. Flaps 1. There's not that many trees on those mountains, I promise you. Fly with, so we used to have a flyby cam in X-plane, so we used to always say positive rate, gear up, flyby. But now we say fly with because we don't have a true flyby cam. Look at this 10 knots here. We're kind of heavy. We'll disarm you. Our heavy 321. Phoenix out of Phoenix, baby. Oh, look at that. Guys, this is going to be a real short stream. This has been so much fun, though. So I tell you what, help me out. Just hit the like button. Everybody smash the like button for this stream. That way, it is unequivocally clear who the GOAT is, and that is Fenix. We need more likes on this stream than the last stream. That's the goal. Whatever the last stream was, we need more on this one. This is just straight juice. Look at the little wobbling out there. Okay, now I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go off the SID here. Let's do a test. We're going to go wing view, and I'm going to roll to the right. Let's see if we get any snappiness. Much less. You see that? So you can barely, it's almost like they just initialize. But I'll notice, even if put the visual aside, watch my PFD. Let's do a little roll to the left. Do a little roll to the right. It's not so snappy. It's much more smooth and inertia filled, if that makes sense. I feel like there's more behind the airplane, which is great. We do need to accelerate, though. We are climbing out like a pig. Why are we climbing out like a pig? Gears up. We're flaps 1 plus F. Let's go autopilot 1 on here for max juice. Oh my goodness, look at that. Also, this is the only view I changed because I didn't know if my views were saved. Are you kidding me? That is so awesome. Look at the dusk. I don't know why we're not accelerating here. We do seem a bit underpowered. I tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to go vertical speed 0 here. This would not have a... We might have a slight flight tweaking. It might be necessary. Vertical speed 0. We need to get up to F speed. Or maybe we're having a little too much drag in the 1+F config. How heavy are we? We're only 158. Yeah, we should have easily accelerated through that S speed. So just a little bit of a drag situation going on there. Flap 0. The 321 CEO is underpowered. There's no doubt about it, but not this underpowered. You don't have to go vertical speed 0 to get the flaps up. So let's go thrust climb, open climb, flaps are up, up we go. McAllen dropping 5 more gifted memberships. McAllen, my man, I appreciate you. Absolutely fantastic, McAllen. Thank you for the support. Really appreciate the 5 gifted memberships, man. And just like that, we shot up to 400 likes. You guys are awesome. Thank you for your participation. I know you all get tired of hearing everyone ask, hit the like button, hit the like button. I get tired of saying it, trust me, I do. But it honestly, so what happens when you hit the like button, it goes into the algorithm that you like it, and then somebody with similar preferences to you will also be recommended that video. So it's like sharing the video without actually sharing the video. Now, if you want to share the video, please do. Share it with your friends. Be like, hey, look at this dumbass. But I do appreciate the support, guys. It really makes it more worthwhile to cover the expenses to run the V1 Nation. So, you guys are awesome. Engine out, 321 ops. Sutlu, I'd be very skeptical about a 321 engine out there after that. Look at this. That's Sky Harbor, or excuse me, that's Scottsdale Air Park. I used to fly the Citation. That's where my Citation was based, right there. So in and out of that air park. I would live, gosh, I'm trying to remember. So this is, I think I used to live like right over here. Where's Twin Peaks? I used to live pretty close to Twin Peaks. Just a short drive over to Air Park. Absolutely loved it. First impressions of the Fenix in 24, absolute GOAT status, Rosny. I mean, this airplane is without question, unequivocally the best airplane in 2024 right now, and probably for a very long time. There's also no other airplanes in 2024 other than Default. So comparing the Fenix to Default is like comparing the A321 to the Wright Flyer and trying to say, hey, they're kind of the same. The only thing they have similar to Default airplanes is they have wings, they have lift and thrust and drag. That's it. You cannot compare the depth of the Fenix to any Default airplane that we have in the sim right now. I don't touch cabin temp controls because I normally wait until the flight attendant like you tells me they're cold or hot. What, are you uncomfortable back there? 76 degrees? Yeah, so they'd be calling up saying, hey, can you turn it down? It's a little hot. Okay. There you go. Happy now? I'm going for the realism here, man. Does it feel better than 2020? Here's the problem. I want to say yes, but this update that I have right now that I'm flying, it also updated in 2020. So for me to be completely fair, I would then have to fly the Fenix in 2020 because I haven't flown this version of the Fenix in 2020 yet. This is a new update where there was slight tweaks to the flight model, and it says it was applicable to both sims. So I can't say that this feels better than 2020. What I can say is this feels better than what we've had before. I've created a cool new freeware tool and it would love to share it with you. How can I get in touch with you, please? iFlySimX, send me a DM on Discord, or ping me, or send me an email through the YouTube channel's email link. Is a Sky Ranch Carefree out here? Bartlett Lake, I believe, is off to the right. So new Phoenix stream in 2020. Tyson, why would I stream it in 2020 when it's kicking it in 2024, man? I don't know. I just don't know why I would go to 20. The only reason I would go to 2020 would be to fly something like the iFly Max, Fokker F-28, BAE 146 series. It would be to fly those other airplanes. And I intend on doing that. We can't just fly Phoenix all the time, every time. What we might do, depending on how much time we have, we might do a bulk landing and manually adjust the winds and try some crosswind landings. F-28 stream when? Dude, Steven, we need the F-28. Just Flight needs to get that sucker in 2024. The livery, we got the Bourbon Air livery on the F-28 Mark 4000. Oh, so good. I can fly the 7.3 all day, any day. I mean, I could too. That's all I've been flying for 10 years. But once you experience the GA bush flying and how fun it is, at least for me, I love it, man. Oh, look at that. Let's do a regular, like, it's kind of... Oh, that's the view right there. That is the view. What's the call sign for Bourbon Air? Woodford? You know what, Diabetic Lad? That might have to be it. I didn't even think. I was just going to say it'd be Bourbon. Because Bourbon Airlines was a real airline at one point, and it was just going to say Bourbon 357. But actually, call sign Woodford would be pretty sweet. That would be pretty sweet, dude. V1, I'm prepping for my CFI ride here in a few days. Do you have any last-minute tips? Zach, yes, for the CFI ride, whenever you find yourself in a situation where something is less than optimal, maybe it's on the practical flight test and you're doing a maneuver and you're not quite doing it as well as you want to be doing it, say out loud to the examiner that you are using this as a teaching moment. So you'd be like, look, I can tell I'm getting a little bit slow here because I'm going to use this as a teaching moment. So because I was a little bit slow, or because I was a little too aggressive with my back pressure, I bled off a little bit too much speed in the maneuver, and now we're going to be a little bit slow, which is going to increase the angle, the rate of turn, yada yada. So use any hiccup that you might encounter, and you'll probably encounter a few. Pretty much everybody encounters something. I mean, it's pretty rare to just absolutely crush 100% everything on a CFI ride. They're so in depth. But if you find yourself in that situation, just be like, look, I'm going to use this as a teaching moment. And then also, if you're asked something that you don't know on the oral exam, be like, let me check. I know where to find that. You can use your tools available to you. So you have lesson plans, whatever it is that you've got. Know where to find the answers. Be familiar with looking stuff up. Be familiar with your FAR aim. Be familiar with your PHAC. So just know where to look stuff up, because it's impossible to know absolutely everything. It's impossible to know everything. So know where to look it up and use mistakes as teaching moments. All right, there's 18,000 Magic Barrel Ref standards are set STDs for you, me, and on Team Vodka. All right, we are in the turnout. Were we actually going to reach our top of climb at all? Or are we going to just climb the whole way there? We'll get up there just prior to Rasta. I'll have you notice we have wing flex on both wings. Look at that. We have wing flex on both wings. 10 out of 10. Till now, is 2024 better? Toga Sim. Okay, the Phoenix is the outlier. Okay, because the Phoenix is a third-party aircraft. I ended the way I explained the sim at the end of the last stream. I said 2024 is similar to 2020 if you have Rex Atmos and some new clouds on the visual aspect. Okay, so there is some visual differences. There's no doubt about it. While they're small, there are visual differences. I know Team Vodka says there's no visual difference at all, but I think he's just saying that because he's trying to hold off because he doesn't like streaming sims or games, and I totally understand that. But if you look at heavy overcast clouds in 2020, they're gray and ashy. If you look at heavy overcast clouds in 2024, they're light, they're fluffy, they're gray where they're supposed to be gray, but they're not the volcanic ash clouds, so those are gone. So there is a visual improvement, albeit minimal. Now, where I was wrong and I did not believe I would feel such a difference would be in the flight modeling. So when you look at default aircraft and you fly the default planes around, they fly differently and they fly better than 2020. Most notably, that 1,000-foot mark all the way to the ground. So that round out, the flare, the ground effect, the ground handling, there is a noticeable difference, and it is definitely better than 2020. There's no way around it. Now, somebody asked, was it Tom that asked about, is it better than X-Plane? I'm going to tell you right now, and I haven't flown the X-Plane, the TOLUS, in a very long time. I will say that the Airbus, and not just the TOLUS, even the Flight Factor 320, whenever last I flew that, and even some of the 330 stuff that I dabbled in, the flight model, if I were to explain it in one word, if I had to say one word for X-Plane, I would say sludgy. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing or an unrealistic thing. You don't have the unrealistic snap rolls, the snap pitch that we saw on the AnyBuilds 321 Neo, the default airplane taking off. There was a little too snappy, right? Too twitchy. X-Plane is more sludgy. And some will argue it's inertia, like Lima Echo Lima. But in Microsoft 2024, I would say dynamic, if I were to say one word for the flight modeling in 2024, as of late, which is still very early on. I've only flown a handful of airplanes. I would say the flight model feels more dynamic. I feel that when I'm really light in 2024 and I try to land, I carry extra energy, I carry extra float because I'm light and I have less drag, and I can feel that. Contrary to landing a really heavy airplane in 2024, I can feel that there's some inertia behind me. There's some inertia in the flare. There's inertia on the ground roll. So there is a definite difference, and to be completely honest, I would have to fly X-Plane 12 and 2024 side by side to have a definitive answer, which is going to give me an idea for the next stream. We might have to. This is going to be the cause of doing an X-Plane 12 versus 2024 comparison. Now that the Fenix is working, I'm going to have to take the TOLUS Airbus up. We're going to have to do a lap in the pattern in the TOLUS. We'll do a crosswind landing. We'll do a normal landing. And then we're going to have to fire up 2024 and do the same exact thing. Now, I am using a Moza AB9 Base. You can see under here I've just got my FSprojects side stick on top of it. So my hardware mimics the control forces of a real A320. Now, it's not dynamic. You don't have force feedback like that, which it can do, but I basically turned this into control loading device where I have the force of roll and pitch are the same, and it's heavily dampened. Very, 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 very similar to the real A320 side stick. So with the optimum hardware and the best hardware to fly an A320 series aircraft on, already ready to go and working, I'm going to have to do a side-by-side stream. So we'll do that in the future, maybe the end of this week. I know it's going to be a busy week. We got Thanksgiving here in the U.S. We got family in town, so it's going to be pretty busy for me. But if I can find a way to get some time, I will do an X-Plane 12 flight in the 321. Like I said, we'll do a lap around the pattern, crosswind landing, normal landing. Then we're going to fire up 2024, IAEs on both sims, and we're going to have to do it. Because I can't sit here and say, oh, this is better than X-Plane. Because I haven't flown X-Plane in years. Like, it's been a long time. So that's a great idea for a stream. We'll do it, and we'll go from there. But is this better than 2020? Yes. V1 X-Plane stream going to happen just after the next podcast drops? No, I think we'll do it. We'll do it. We're going to have to... what we should do, Gus, is do 330 on both sims, you know? I think the last time there was a super huge gap between sims was during the FSX era. It's pretty close these days, honestly. Yeah, we're almost splitting hairs now as we get up in everything is more and more detailed. The changes are more and more subtle between the sims. They are, no doubt about it. Look at that thing of beauty right there. Turn this down a little bit. We'll go full screen cam here real quick. We'll just enjoy the Fenix in all her glory. You don't have a 339 on Microsoft. Oh, you're right. It's only... I was going to do laminar with default 330. Yeah, Gus. Was that not a fair comparison? I was going to do default 330 CEO on 2024 and default laminar 330 in X-Plane. Is that not a good idea? How do you know that this isn't the same on 2020 now? Well, Coder, that's what I was saying. As far as the Fenix is concerned itself, I don't know. I haven't flown this update on 2020. But what I do know is landing the 321neo, which is a default airplane and not the Fenix, it lands better than a lot of airplanes in 2020. It doesn't have that floating feel to it. Okay, it actually felt really nice when we landed it in Sky Harbor. The Beach 18 stream that I did, flying around low level, doing GA stuff. I've done some GA stuff in 2020, and I'm telling you, in 2024, it's even more enhanced, or it's even more... It's like you can tell the difference more in GA than you can in tube liners, and it's that much better in 2024. Man, we gotta clean these windows, Amir. What do you want, another pandemic, dude? They probably want another pandemic so they can build another airplane. I feel like I'm gonna get COVID just looking at this window. Good night. The McDo is not that interactive in the laminar one. Okay, so what about, though, just, he says, I don't know, I have played the 330 recently, but they're updating it, have been updated on the new beta. Yeah, Gus, I wasn't going to do it, just for, we weren't going to look at the box and systems. I just want to do it for straight up flight model. Start on the runway, engines running, flaps, everything set up, good to go, and do a couple landings. That's really what I want to go after, to compare them. That's American. What do you expect, Canadian? And McAllen, I missed your super chat, man. I'm going back. I appreciate you, dude, for the 2 Swish francs. Goat plane, Goat Straber, he says. McAllen, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. Hopefully you're still here. I was on a roll there, and I just kept talking through your super chat. But I appreciate you. Thank you for the support, man. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. I'm glad you enjoy being here and hanging out with us, because we sure enjoy having you. TriJet SimPilot says that 172 and 24 noticed a huge improvement in the flight model. So that's what we you know what? Another way that I explained it to a buddy yesterday was in 2020, and even in this sim, you guys know, if you've been around the channel for any length of time, you know that I'm not like a huge default airplane fan. I never was. We never really flew default airplanes on 20. I'm trying to think what default airplanes we flew on 2020. Maybe we flew the 7.4, but that was modded working title, but it was still default. We did a handful, 787, but it wasn't like I was loving default airplanes, right? And that's for a reason. I like systems modeling. I like systems depth. I like having to take care of my airplane like you would in the real world. I love the Dukes, the system modeling on the Dukes, the sounds on the Dukes, anything black square, awesome. Now, how you know there's a difference between the two sims is I have more fun flying default airplanes in 2024 and enjoying the flight modeling and the flight characteristics in 2024 in default airplanes than I do of flying, say, the Duke in 2020. As much as I love the Piston Duke, which I think it's the GOAT of piston aircraft in 2020. I think it's fair to say that the Black Square Duke is the GOAT in 2020, especially with sounds. I have more fun flying default, barely simulated battery bus in 2024 than I do flying hardcore sim GA in 2020 because of the way they feel, because of the ground physics. It's so much better and more realistic. Is it 100% right now? Not really. I mean, it's close. It's much closer. So that's another way to look at it. How's the performance with the non-stream plane? Fewies, it's been fantastic, dude. It's been fantastic. Are the strobe lights off? Let's take a look. Patrick Borkman, thank you for the $5 super chat, man. I appreciate you. No, strobe lights are on. Are they not flashing out there? Let's take a look. I don't see them flashing. You're right. They might. I think there's some lighting issues across the sim platform. You know, we've noticed that. Yeah, I don't think the strobes are on, but the sun is going to set here pretty soon, so we'll be able to see it as the sun sets. But Fewies, the performance has been fantastic in this Phoenix. Jeremy Harvey says, if most people are going to get third-party airplanes anyway, then what's the purpose of including and developing aircraft in our simulators? Jeremy, it's for the other 90% of the market that play flight sim. You got to keep that in mind. So the hardcore desktop simmers are probably what, like 10% of the market, when you have millions of people on Xbox that want to play a game and want to, you know, that aren't looking for that hardcore experience. The hardcore simmer is a very small portion, to my understanding, of how many copies they sell of Microsoft Flight Sim. So, McAllen, thank you, man, for another 2 super chat. Appreciate you. V1 Nation, greatest nation on earth. Hey, man, appreciate the love, dude. Thank you for the support. Glad you enjoy it, man. Patrick Borkman, a bank angle check. Another one. Patrick, my man, thank you for the $5 bank angle check. Right back at you, dude. Thank you for that, man. Appreciate the support. Do you know how to possibly remove some of the streamed airports? Fuies, no, I do not. Yeah, for Xbox and for people who don't want to buy payware. Right, so for people who don't want to buy payware, so let's say, you know, I've got 3 kids, right? If my oldest daughter, who's 5, wanted to get in to do some flight sim, now she hasn't touched any computer games, she hasn't done any gaming on, she doesn't even know what gaming is. Well, let's say that she was 10 or something. You know, being able to have some decently modeled default airplanes that look pretty and fly good, all the more reason to do it, right? That's the mass market. That's who the mass market is for Xbox. It's not the airline pilot who was looking to do V1 cuts and single engine training on his desktop sim before going to the real world sim for recurrent. That is less than 1%. What do you think of the FS Labs 321? Oh, back to that idea, just before we start down here. I don't know what the bottom is. Actually, look at this. A great addition here. We'll go back to charts, stars, Rockstar, Prino at 6,000? 8,000. Prino at 8,000. We'll set Prino at 8. So let's talk about FS Labs real quick, because that's a great point. So what is FS Labs? What are they going to bring to the table? The only thing that I noticed that on that latest video where they said they have, what is it, the tech log, and they have the GPS jamming, a feature that I think would be able to be run with and capture some of the audience would be having a shareable airframe. So if you guys think back to the X-Plane 11 days where we had the TBM, and you could share the airframe, you had the flight history, the damage was shared. You know, if you flew the airplane, you didn't put the pitot covers on it, you gave the profile to your buddy who then picked up the airplane and flew it a month later, and the pitot covers weren't on it, you probably had no airspeed because your pitot tubes were probably blocked because a bug crawled in there. That's kind of the neat, I got hiccups all of a sudden, kind of the neat feature of that TBM, right? Sharing the airplane profile. It appears that there is some sort of global flight log that FS Labs is teasing, and I don't know the extent of it. I don't think any of us really do. Let's go ahead and set 8, manage descent. Down we go. Thrust idle, descent nav. Here we go. I don't know the extent of it, but I think if it is, it can have the potential to capture the eyes of probably quite a few Airbus simmers. But that alone, I don't think is going to make somebody buy that airplane over the Fenix. I don't think so. You know, having the in-op sticker up there is kind of cool. You know, I wish I could click and add stickers in the cockpit, make stuff in-op. But the Fenix does so much, so well. I don't know what else you could have in the FS Labs Airbus to make you want to buy another Airbus that does all the same stuff, you know? AJ, thanks for the $3 super chat. Loot boxes, microtransactions, and SimFly credits. No. Thanks for the $3 super chat, man. I appreciate that. So, yeah. Is it going to be worth going a $200 upgrade from the Fenix? Randy, I can't imagine that it would be. You have shared flight for Zebo, Tolos, and a lot of other add-ons. Well, shared flight just lets you fly it together, right? It doesn't share the airframe time, the airframe, like... Having a true shareable tech log that recorded landing rates and recorded damage parts, and or this is what it would need to be, and maybe if Fenix could incorporate this, have like, you know how you have cumulative time till failure, or you have a component has a certain amount of hours before it fails, be able to transport that from player to player. So like as more people fly the airplane, the time on that airframe is going to go up, so more and more things are going to start to go wrong. So if you load into an airplane and you're like, oh, this airplane has 38,000 cycles on it. Like there's probably going to be some stuff wrong with it and going wrong with it, which would be kind of neat. But again, I don't know if that's enough to spend that kind of money that FS Labs is going to charge, that I would imagine they're going to charge. To switch off from the Fenix. Now, virtual airlines, Jonathan Beaumont, that's exactly what I was thinking. Target audience, virtual airline people, yes. So having a virtual airline require you to have, you have to have the FS Labs Airbus. I could see that potentially becoming a thing where, we have tech logs, we're going to share it among our entire VA. Now you're going to capture the VA flyers. That would happen, yes, because they'll say, okay, well, if I want to fly my American virtual airlines, but I have to have the FS Labs Airbus to do 321 ops, I guess I'll buy that. But is that going to be worth it in the end? I don't know. It's all early speculation. I mean, that's the only thing they've really shared. I'd be curious to see what else is out there. You know, if it drops, and I'll take a look at it. I'll see what it does. I'll compare it, so you guys can make an informed decision on if you want it or not. All I want is native shared cockpit and a working weather radar. Airplane use and wear would really improve the sim is a great deal. Most of what bring the flight sim franchise alive is all the third-party devs and their work up of the immersion. Yep, making things more immersion. Delta Fan 311, thanks to the $5 super chat, says, take what you said about shared airframes and integrate that into SimBrief to see what is MEL'd. Ooh, Delta Fan, yes. Even taking it another step, right? That's a great idea. And so that's what I'm saying. That is the only thing that I know of now that would really give, oh my gosh, look at this beautiful shot right here. That would give FS Labs something to hang their hat on and say, this is where I'm different than the Fenix. But systems-wise, I don't know how you're going to have anything different, because the Fenix does pretty much everything right. We'll see. Do we have wind shear warnings in 24? I'm not sure, man. Haven't had a chance to find a wind shear yet. GPU exclamation point specs, I got a 4080 Super. Try going to the Fenix, buy the numbers blog, and drag the nerd GIF at the end to a new tab and look at the URL. What? Oh, you want to go buy the numbers blog? Oh, that's one thing we have to do. What we'll have to do is we'll do a long haul, or I say long haul, we'll do a longer flight in the Fenix, and we're going to digest the that numbers blog. I think that would be kind of fun to do. You know that latest blog that Fenix came out with? So let's return. What we got? A delay, ops, no ADC. All right, cool. We're all set up. We already set for the arrival. We're out of 18.4. Magic barrel ref 29 or 88 is set. Seatbelt sign is coming on. You're now free to sit down and be quiet. We're on the lower end of the speed scale. That's pretty normal for 321 if you're into a headwind here. 17.8. We started down early. We got a headwind. Things are looking good here. I mean, this was a very realistic Airbus day. On the first flight, we were sitting at the top of the econ descent window. The second leg, still a 321, we're now on the bottom of the descent window. Airbus VNAV is not as precise as you may think it is. I'm interested to see how hard other aircraft wakes will shake you. That is also very interesting, A-Rod. There's supposed to be wind shear, but the warnings will have to be up to the developer. Very interesting, A-Rod. Okay. Loving the Microsoft 2024 night lighting. The night lighting is good, but the airport taxi lights are atrocious. They are atrocious, y'all. You could see a blueberry farm on acid at 200 miles. That's what the airports look like. They look like blueberry farms on acid at 200 miles. You could see them bright as day. You cannot see taxiway lights from 200 miles, I promise you. But I also don't know how much of that is the default airport, right? How many times, again, let's keep ourselves in check here. I know we won't, default is this is broken. How many times did I fly into a default airplane in 2020? We could probably count it on two hands, okay? Like a major airport. I would pick and choose airports to go to that had sceneries. So, is the taxiway lighting that big of a deal? Honestly, I don't think so. I just don't know who designed it. Like, why would you why would you go that direction? If anything, make them go the same amount of distance you traveled in the wrong direction, but make it in the right direction, and that would be much more realistic. Even the 2020 airports are way too visible, especially in the evenings. So I almost flew into Gustavo's default airplane, if you would. That was crazy, man. That was crazy, Tyson. Paid airports have the light issues too right now, but what paid airports, Turk, are designed and optimized for 2024? Has anybody come out and said, here's my scenery updated for 2024? That's a genuine question I'm asking. Because from what I've heard, everyone's just kind of taking their 2020 sceneries and hack dropping them into their community folder, which is fine. But if it's not optimized for the sim, it's not compatible with the new sim, in my opinion. The AnyBuilds Lowy and Orbix 24, okay. There's one or two airports. Well, I'll be curious to see what those look like at night. Maybe it is something that's going to need to be addressed globally from the sim, but yeah, the lights are awful. Airport lights are awful. Flightbeam has updated? The Lido charts included as default are simply amazing, as well as the default aircraft 24 has stepped it up. Yeah, and look, I agree with you. Now, even though I don't like Lido charts at all, that's because I've been looking at Jeppesen charts for over 15 years. More than that. When's 2000? So that's 10. Yeah. For over 15 years, I've been looking at JEP charts. Even longer, if I think about it. So for Lido charts, for me, are just overwhelmingly complex and unnecessary. But let me put a massive asterisk around that and say, for somebody who's never simmed before, having default Lido charts at an iPad at the click of a tab button, that is fantastic. And there are airlines that use Lido charts. So it is a massive step up. It really, really is. They have done some good things in this sim. There's no doubt about it. They have done some really good things in this sim. I'm excited for the changes in the flight model. I'm excited for the replay function that can replay stuff for you, the FCR. I'm excited for the flight modeling on the ground, or the ground physics, I should say. The biggest problem is the streaming of the whole sim, in my opinion. That is the biggest problem. I don't know where to look. Everything looks so beautiful. The EFB has FAA. Yes, they do. They do have the FAA charts. Ever seen a nav blue chart? I think I have, Corn Addict. I think somebody showed me like the nav blue charts. We use nav blue for bidding for all our schedule stuff. Your airline uses Lido, and see, there you go. If you're used to Lido charts, then you're going to be ecstatic. You have them for free in the sim, which is great. And I really like, somebody mentioned it too, the default FAA charts. So before I looked at JEP charts, I was always using the free FAA charts. When I was a student pilot, when I was an instructor, I would go get the FAA charts. So I wasn't paying for Jeppesen as a student, even as an instructor. So to have default FAA charts in the States is fantastic. Everyone doing their flight training. I mean, it's really, really good. I need to update the FAA that I stopped taking a medicine so I can have them approve a medical. Do you have an idea how to contact? Should I just email them? I would speak with your AME first. Speak with your medical examiner first. Maybe they I think they should do that. I'm honest with you. I've flown to Charlotte at night. Right next to it just looked like a big black space until you were aligned with the runway. Yes, that is correct. Airports at night are black holes. Contrary to popular belief, the airport at night, I'm even going to run the sim time forward here so we can see more of this as we descend into Vegas. The airport at night, to find it, you don't look for lights. You look for the absence of lights. I want to get it just dark enough, but not that dark. I want to see the sunset here. We'll put it right on the horizon. You want to look for the absence of lights. That's how you identify an airport at night. What's wrong with FAA charts? Kalimbo, there's nothing wrong with FAA charts. Matter of fact, when I was using them consistently as a student pilot, then as an instructor, when I first looked at JEP charts, I was like, oh my gosh, these are awful. But then fast forward 15 years of looking at nothing but JEP charts, going back to the FAA charts, it's like, ugh. One thing I will say, and I said this from the very beginning, and I won't waver. The one thing the FAA charts got right that Jeppesen got 100% wrong is they don't have a mini airport diagram on your approach plate. So on the FAA charts, you can actually see, I don't know if I could change this. I'm going to go more apps. Is it Flight Planner? Pilot book, settings, Flight Planner, aircraft. I don't want to crash the sim here. Maybe it's not loading now for some reason because I got Navigraph. But the big difference is you don't have the... I love having that airport diagram on an approach plate. If you're using all third-party, i.e. third-party aircraft and scenery on your local drive, 2024 behaves very well. It's when you stream planes, airports, and scenery that causes issues. Absolutely. Absolutely, Mr. Saturday. I got you something unpredictable. Okay. Yeah, I would tell your AME, man. I'd call up your AME and be like, look, this is what happened. This is what I'm doing now. What do you recommend I do next? All right, we flew for the decel point, so we're already decelerating. We're going to go manage speed. And for juice effects, we're going to go open descent, thrust idle, open descent. We're going to speed up here to get on it here we're going to go to 8,000 feet. LS push buttons are on. Let's get our lights on. Let's turn the sim sounds all the way up. And we're going to descend to 6,000. Thrust idle open descent with the brakes out to 6,000. Why are my speed brakes deploying? Am I binding? Maybe I need to work on my binding. Oh, it's because Fenix has the on press, on release. I had to change that for this airplane. That's going to be a problem. I have to hold it out. So I have to do the opposite bind that I do the default A320. Oh, look at that. There's the dam. There's the Hoover Dam. Look at this view, y'all. I need to get Flight Recorder up and running right now. Recording is on. We're going to record this whole approach. And the lake even looks low. I know, you can see the water levels low, man. How crazy is that? All right, let's descend 4,800. Come back to 180. You see how I can see those pappies? You would not see those pappies from here. You would not see the pappies from here. This is a true Vegas experience. We're getting high on profile. We're potential to be fast. I don't have a working speed brake. We're going to see if the 2.6 left ILS is correct. Yep, you're right. Flaps 1. And VFE next minus 10, flaps 2. Is this real life? I know it. This is the difference. Team Vodka, can you tell the difference visually? Because I sure can. Come on, man. You know you can. All right, let's arm it up. Approach mode, AP2. Make sure we're activated and confirmed. We flew through the decel point. She's already up to date. We'll stow the speed brake now. Everything looks good. Let's arm it up. We have LOC. Glide slope is blue. We're at vertical speed 500, which we should run into it here any minute now. It's the same picture. No, it's not the same picture. If you want to say it's the same picture, you need to fly the flight with me and take screenshots, and we'll compare. It's the only way you could say it's placebo. The sphere is up. Now, this is default Vegas, so let's see what happens. Matter of fact, Team Vodka, that would be a fun idea for the stream. The next time I do an airliner stream, you fly it on your sim. We'll do the same exact time, and we'll have like notable screenshot points. I'll tell you when to take a screenshot, and I'll take a screenshot. And then after the flight, we'll compare screenshots live on the stream. And I will show you what yours look like and show you what mine look like. And then we can pound Turk in the US and say, look, you're wrong, placebo man. Okay, we'll turn your HDR off. Turn your HDR off. You can do it for one flight. Alright, glide slope star, ground altitude was set 5,000. Ground altitude set 5,000 blue. Let's configure early for... Oh, we're not really that early. We'll go manage speed, gear down. A little bit early, but... I do wonder why the thunk takes so long on the Fenix. Seems like it takes a little longer than the real airplane for it to drop down. VFE next minus 10, flaps 3. We'll go full flaps. We'll configure early here so we can enjoy the juice at final approach speed all the way down. American 357, slow to your final approach speed. We're at our final 140. American 357, roger. You're overtaking a 737. They're indicating 137 knots on the ground. Well, they don't have ground speed mini, so it's their problem, not mine. Remember, if you like Fenix, we have to make sure this stream is known that Fenix is still the GOAT of Airbus. So hit that like button. We want this stream to be more popular than the last one because this is a true amazing update that they were able to just get out within what? How long has this sim been out? 3 or 4 days? Unbelievable. Ignition is not on, Leaper. Ignition comes on the IAE V2500 with flaps, with the flap handle in position 1 or greater. So it is proper simulation. Until the FS Labs comes along. Mayday, look. I would love to see the comparison. I'm going to be honest with you. As much as I love Airbus, I want to see what's different. Now, this is a default Vegas. This looks pretty dang good. I mean, default Vegas? Everything is default here. It does look like the nav lights and strobe lights and stuff are bugged. Alright, I'm going to hand fly out, all pilots off.
1,000.
The engines seem a little bit... Disengage the auto thrust. I have the thrust levers. Let's get back on the slope here. Look at the glide slopes actually working. Fly Tampa, take notes. It does seem a little heavy on the drag, Gus.
500.
Does seem a little bit heavy on the drag here. We have an 11 knot crosswind, so this is a good test. Manual brakes, no auto brakes. Too much energy coming in here.
100.
There we go.
50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. 5.
Oh, that feels so dang good, though. Spoilers. Get back on that center line. The wind went from a 10 knot crosswind to a 3 knot quartering tailwind from the opposite side. That was interesting. 70 knots. It went from a straight 11 knot crosswind to a 3 knot tailwind instantly. I think that might have jacked us up a little bit. Whoa, look at the scenery. I haven't seen this since FSX, guys. Oh my word. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Oh no, my stream is dying. Look at this. Look at this. This is too much. What on earth do we have here? Yeah, Microsoft is great. You should buy the simulator. It looks like Vegas got hit by a nuke. Airport downloading. Look at this. Alright, I'm going to go down the hill just for fun. I'm going to stop the recording. This is too funny. Let's just go see what happens if we go down this ramp. For those that have never been to Vegas, this is not what it looks like. What did we think about flaps, though? Oh yeah, something is happening on the ground. Look, yeah, my whole sim is starting to stutter. Something's not right here. Uh-oh. Are we back? We're back. Yeah, something is not right here with Vegas. Yeah, something is jacked up here. Look at this. Look at this. Whee! Hey, look at the ground mount. Look at where speed is increasing. We can't crash though, because it'll end the flight, I think. Yeah, recording's off. Look at this. We're just gonna go. Whee! Our terminals are gone. Oh no, there they are. Our cloud is being jammed. That's what it is. I think our cloud is being jammed, y'all. We need clouds in chat. Clouds in chat. We're being jammed by the cloud. So our airport can't download the terrain. Oh my gosh. Yeah, see, something is happening. It's this airport. Something's happening. I'm going to stop. All right, let's just stop. We're going to stop this. We're going to stop. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Dang on it. Let me reset this. Let me resume flight. Let me get inside here. We got to get... This is... Yeah, this is not good. This is an airport issue. All right. Let's watch the replay. Let's load everything back in. On the speed brakes. We get the flaps coming out here. We'll go back to replay cam. Pause it, we'll run it forward, we'll let everything load in. We should be at full flat handle, brakes are off. Alright, so sim issue, definitely. No, we don't need sail just yet. We're going to get out of here. I got to go to 120 Gs. Alright, we got to go to Fort Worth. But we're going to wrap it up here. We're going to watch this landing. I wish I could do another one. But It felt good. The flare, everything felt good on the flare. Though. It felt so good in the flare. I don't know why I lost the center line there. Just bad piloting. Yeah, I can't load in at this airport. This airport has frame issues. You know that? I mean, that was pretty good. I like that. Let's go back. Yeah, whenever we land on the ground, it causes an issue with the sim. That's peculiar. That's very peculiar. Let's watch it from this angle. Airport downloading. No more floating. There's definitely no more floating in this sim, but I don't know. Again, I don't know if this is just in this sim or if they changed it in 2020 as well. Oh, that's textbook. I just kind of lost a little bit of, I don't know if it was that wind shift there. Look, as soon as we land, the frames get all jacked up, though. Bad centerline control on my part. Partially probably my rudders, too. But it still felt way better. All right, that's it. We're going to wrap it up here. I'm going to bring the gear in. You guys are going to watch the landing all by yourselves. We're going to get sail going. I'm going to disarm the speed brakes. And we're going to give you frames here. So you have frames back. Wing view is set. Flaps are back to position 1, I think they should be at here, allegedly. Let's resume. And that's it. Still at 250 knots. Yeah, the flaps were up at this point. So, enjoy the base to final in here to Vegas. All right, that's it. Yeah, the streaming issue of the airports. That's the biggest. That's just a massive problem. All right, but I had fun. Phoenix is the GOAT. I hope you guys had fun. Thank you all for tuning in. I know these were 2 short streams back to back. Look forward to tomorrow evening. Look for a GA Bush fly-in and potentially another tube-liner stream tomorrow late afternoon. Late afternoon tube-liner, and if you want to fly GA with me tomorrow, let's do a MIGS fly-in, or not a MIGS fly-in. Let's do a Kern Valley fly-in tomorrow. So set your alarm clock for 7. Let's make it 6 p.m. Central Time. Tomorrow will be a Kern Valley fly-in. It should be a lot of fun with the GA stuff. So I will see you all there. Enjoy the replay into Lost of Wages. I'm going down to Fort Worth. Spend the night down there with some family. Enjoy it. You guys were awesome. Thank you for the support. Shout out to Phoenix for being the absolute legends that they are in flight simulation. This is the best Airbus representation I've flown to date on a desktop simulator, and I don't know if it'll ever be challenged, but I welcome the competitors to attempt to challenge it, because guess what? Competition is good for the consumers. Y'all have a wonderful night. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. See you.